Guys, it's me. It's Queen Aset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Okay, guys, so if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to someone else who may like it as well. First of all, I wanted to talk to you guys today about a question that someone asked me that I found to be rather interesting. I was asked, where do spiritual abilities like clairvoyance and empathic abilities come from? Is it something that you develop from, going to these classes online? Is it something that you're born with? Where does it really come from? Do you inherit them? Is it like bestowed upon you by the alien spaceship? Like, how do you get these abilities? How can people do divination and read cards? And where do these abilities come from? So I thought it was a very interesting question because a lot of people wonder about that. And a lot of time when you hear about spiritual abilities, they call them psychic abilities. You'll rarely hear me use the term psychic because I don't really like that term. The term psychic has been used a lot by people who are not psychic. So at this point, whenever somebody uses that word, it just sounds fake to me. It sounds like somebody pretending to be something that they're not. But the truth of the matter is that what they really have are spiritual abilities. Clairvoyance, empathy, prophecy, all of these kind of things, mediumship, all of these kind of things are nothing more than spiritual abilities. And you're born with them. Everybody has intuition. Everybody has what we call in the wild instincts. Instincts is basically intuition. It's the human version of intuition. We feel things, we notice things, we pick up on things. We don't always trust ourselves to go with what we come up with, but a lot of us do feel it. Some of us more strongly than others. So all of us have instincts. We're all born with that sixth sense. We're all born with that spiritual ability, but some of us are stronger with it because some of us trust ourselves. Some of us have stronger abilities. For example, everybody can sing. I can sing, you can sing. Anybody who has the proper, vocal box chords, whatever is in there can sing. But some of us can sing extremely well. Some of us cut records. Some of us are nicknamed The Voice, like my girl Whitney Houston. Some of us have a voice for ya, and some of us can sing a little bit, not that great, enough to be like on the choir, and some of us can't even hold a tune like me. So the point is that everybody is born with spiritual abilities, and some people are stronger with them than others. The people who are strongest with them are people who develop them. Sometimes people say to me, oh, I just can't get my abilities to work. And I'm like, because you're not developing them. Anybody, like I said before, who has, like, whatever your ability is, the intuitive sense, remember I said everybody has, but there are other ones. Like I said, mediumship, clairvoyance. Clairvoyance is clear seeing. It means you can see things. You have dreams. You have visions. You may see prophecies, things along those lines. You know things. You just know them. You just see them. And that's another spiritual ability. Now, some people may not have clairvoyance. They might just have a little bit of intuitive sense. So some of us are, like I said, are a little stronger than others. But if you have any inclination of it, which most of us do, then you're able to develop it by doing spiritual exercises. That's what the monks are doing. That's what people who are in different spiritual systems, different priests, different priestesses, different medicine women, different shaman, that's what they're doing. The spiritual practices that they do are to open up, to strengthen, to make clear their abilities. But you're born with it, and you either develop it or not. Many people die having never developed their spiritual abilities because they weren't taught, they weren't in a family that valued it, or something along those lines may have happened, but it doesn't mean they weren't born with the ability. It just means they never really developed it. So like I said, almost everybody has that instinctive, intuitive sense. And then different people have stronger abilities in different areas. Mediums can talk to spirits. They can sense spirits and sometimes communicate with them. So anybody who walks into a room might pick up on the vibration just from their instincts, but not anybody would be able to communicate with them. So that's why I'm saying the average human walking down the street has an intuitive sense, but some of us have it heightened. That's why I'm able to do tarot readings online. That's why I'm able to get the right cards when I start to shuffle them and start to focus on the person, because I'm able to draw their energy and push it out through the cards. It's an ability. I was born with it, but I had to train it. If I didn't train it, I would still have it. It just wouldn't be very useful. It wouldn't be very useful to me because I wouldn't be able to use it to pull cards or do divination or any of the things that I'm able to do with it. So for people who have abilities, it's not like you can't get them to work, or they're broken or something. They just have to be developed. It's just like your body. If you want to be in physical shape, you have to go to the gym and train your body. If you want your clairvoyancy or your intuitive abilities or your empathic abilities to be on point, you have to do the exercises. You have to exercise your third eye. And you have to do different things like that, like meditation, for example. Meditation is one of the easiest ways to open your third eye, and one of the easiest ways that I know of to really begin to open yourself up and line up your chakras and those kinds of things. So this is what the meditations are for, the chanting is for. That's what all of this stuff is for. That's what, like I said, you see these holy people, these spiritual people doing these practices. They're spiritual practices to help them master their abilities, to utilize their abilities. So if you have abilities and you don't know what you're doing, congratulations. You're like everybody else on the planet. Now it's up to you to research and get the knowledge so you can know how to use them. There are books that teach mediums how to control their abilities. There's all kinds of information everywhere. Books, podcasts, YouTube videos. All kinds of stuff everywhere. You got to weed through the BS, because there is some BS out there. But you can find lots of people who a lot of people talk about, or lots of books that a lot of people use. There's all kinds of stuff out there. You just got to do some looking, some digging. That's how I found out and started to do readings, because I didn't do readings up until like 1999. I didn't know very much about it at all. And then when I got into tarot, I realized I had a knack for it. So it was something I developed over time. I used to go on this chat program called Pal Talk, and I used to just do readings for free, just to strengthen my abilities, just to be able to hone in on the person's energy. And I would do it for hours and hours and hours until I got really good at it. So basically, it's training. It's just like going to the gym, So that's where the abilities come from. You're born with them. And some of us are born with more than one. Some of us just have intuition. Some of us don't develop or listen to our intuition, so it's practically useless. Some of us can't tell our information, so we don't know if it's coming from our intuition, our head, or our heart, because we can't tell the difference, because we're so cluttered in our mind that we can't get clear. That's part of what the grounding and the centering and the meditation is for, is to get clear. And some of us can't get clear. So we don't know where the hell it's coming from. We're confused. Some of us be confused, like, am I intuiting this, or is this just what I want? Some of the questions that people ask me, I can tell they have confused themselves because they can't get quiet. They can't get still. They can't get clear to tell their intuition from their mind or from their heart. And these are very different areas. So if you have abilities, I would just tell you, start to learn, start to read, follow the path, follow the spiritual path of those who've gone before you. You're not the first person to experience this. For thousands of years, all the way back to ancient Kemet, people have been learning about their spiritual abilities. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just go back and read the gurus of the past. Read the ancients. And it leads to other books, it leads to other practices, it leads to different seminars. Just follow the path of knowledge, and you will be able to use your abilities just as good as me or anybody else. That's all I did. That's all I did. I did trainings, I did workshops, I did priestess training. I mean, I did my thing. Every time something came up, any kind of like little class, like daily has little classes. I would do those little classes, books that I've read, any knowledge that came across me, I learned. I soaked it up like a sponge. And that's all you have to do. Learn and practice. Learn and practice. Learn and practice. That's it. Now, I can't say it's fast because I started the journey in 1999 and I worked on it for a long time. It took me like 6 years to get really good, But if you want to do it, it's just like anything else. You can learn the skills and do it. All right, guys, it's time for me to get going. So, if you like this video, please pass it on to someone else who's wondering about this same thing. If you want to get in touch with me for a tarot reading, please email me and I'll give you an appointment. And if you would like to ask me a question for Asking Aquarius, or if you just want to contact me on social media, all of my information will be underneath this video. See you later.